Okay, I'm going to show you in this video how to use GitHub for our remaining projects. So for intro class, you have a couple different repositories. You have one that's just intro to coding, which is basically just like info for our class. It includes our GitHub page and all of our links and things like that. There's also going to be one called Intro Adventure Games, and this is where you're going to put your adventure game projects. So whenever I click this, it's going to just go to a blank repository. And what we're going to do is we're going to initialize this and set this up so that we can use this for our project. So I'm going to set it up right now, and I want you to follow along. Basically, each person is going to have their own branch of this project with their own material. We're going to have to be careful not to overwrite each other's branches, but that's easy to do. Just be smart about it and name it something unique. I'm going to go ahead and open up Xcode, and I'm going to just get started with an Xcode project. I'm going to call it we'll say Cameron's Adventure, and I'll go ahead and say next. And we want to make sure that this is initialized with a Git repository. If you haven't done that before, which you should be doing for all your projects now, you can simply go source control and create Git repositories. So I'm on my project. I am going to go to the source control tab, which is this little guy right here. I'm going to twirl this down. Here's my project. We have remotes. It should be empty. And we have branches. It says master. What we're going to do is we're going to make a new branch. So we're going to right click this. We can say right click branch from master, and we're going to call it, I'll call this one, let's say Cameron's Adventure Game, and hit create. It's going to make a new branch called Cameron's Adventure Game, and it should say current next to it. Under remotes, pretty simple, I'm going to right click and I'm going to say add existing remote. I'm just going to go to GitHub, and on GitHub you'll take this link, which you could also find, for example, if the project actually has stuff in it. It might look like this. We can say it's this clone link right here. This is the same link, okay? So we just hit clone or download, and we grab that link and copy it and paste it. So paste it in. It's my intro adventure game, so I'm going to hit add. And what it should do is we should be able to push this Cameron's Adventure Game to this remote. So I'm going to go source control commit. We're going to push to remote. And it's asking us how is it pushing it, and it should say origin / and then the branch name that you gave, and it's going to say create at the end. I'll just put test in here. I don't actually have any files because I haven't made any changes yet. Let me make a change really quick. Okay, so again, source control, commit that change. I'll call this initial commit, push to remote, and we're going to push it to that Cameron's Adventure Game. And commit one file and push. It'll sit here for a second as it's creating the repository. Okay, so you might get this error. That's okay. Sometimes that happens. I'll say okay. Let's just check online just by refreshing that page and make sure it didn't just do it. Okay, it did do it. So it actually did work. So now I have a branch called Cameron's Adventure Game. It did work. Not sure why we got that weird error, but that's okay. And now that it's linked in here, I can continue working on my project. So I can make another change. You know, I can add some code. Let's write a new function called blah. We'll just go like that. And then whenever we're done with our daily changes or our hourly changes, however often you want to do this, we just need to go source control commit. We'll make a list of our changes. I'll make sure my boxes are checked. Make a list of my changes. So I'll say change some things. Check that push to remote. Make sure it's going to the right repository. Commit one file. See if we still get that error. We might still get that error. That's okay if we do. I'll show you how to fix it. Okay. Here's how we fix that error if you get it. Source control fetch changes. And then hit pull. It'll let us pick the repository that we're going to pull from. We can say rebase local changes, pull. We should be good. All right. So it saved our changes still. Here, let's add another one. Now let's try and commit that source one more time. Make sure that it works. Commit one file and push. Still giving us that strange error. Let's just try push. All right, well that worked. I think it was just my commit screen was a little bit odd. But let's go back in here, refresh and see if it changed. Looks like it changed. So we have some changes from 28 seconds ago, and our project is good to go. So you're going to, again, create a new branch. You're going to give it a name, your name dash adventure game, and you're going to make sure that you don't overwrite anybody else's project. Okay? That's the biggest thing.